the process of actually building a startup, like especially a hardware business that I assume this is, takes a long, long time. What have been the biggest challenges so far, Sam?
I think one massive learning that we had to kind of really come to terms with was that Nate started the company before I was in the picture, and so that was kind of 2022 region, and I met him soon after that. But startups had an incredible run in the 20s and the 21s. There was an incredible amount of money being invested, and so, we thought that was phenomenal. We're going to start a business. We're going to access this funding, and off we go. We thought we were quite smart, and going to be the next unicorn. And I don't say that with I guess any anger. It was more of a very great learning experience that all of a sudden we went, oh right, no, we're trying to build things that it's not a digital idea that can suddenly reach across the globe. We're actually trying to amass huge amounts of equipment, put it in a ship, sail that ship somewhere, connect it to a grid, connect it to a telecommunications line, supply humans with a service, and we went, right, this is a long haul, and so that was a nice learning experience, but it also showed, like we're here quite a few years later. I think we've made some incredible progress, and we've met some, yourself included. Nice nod to the host, but we've met some incredible people along the way, and so where we are now is we've kind of confirmed our resolve to keep going, and we know it's not an overnight project. This is still years in the making, but every day is a step forward and a step more towards getting that first ship in the water.
And so, what does the kind of first stage of prototype look like? And I ask that with the lens of an investor lens. Okay, some guys have an idea, taking the idea from idea stage to like, okay, we've actually proved this idea works, can actually be done in lots of different ways. You don't necessarily have to have the multi-million-dollar vessel that's doing all this stuff. What looks like a kind of first phase of prototype of this for you guys? And have you built it? And how's that gone down?
The discussion around a prototype is, I think, quite an interesting one, because what we're trying to do with OceanBit is we're trying to leverage the proof work that other people have done. And, it's not so much a cop out, but it's very hard for Nate and I to justify someone to take money out of their pocket to build a barge or a small uneconomical demonstration plant, which was, one was built out of Korea in 2023. And, they launched it and they generated electricity. It was a demonstration plant, a 1 megawatt barge. Creso deployed a 1 megawatt ocean thermal barge, and it operated and it generated electricity. And so it's a bit hard for Nate and I to justify building another barge when we know the science works. We know the technology and the equipment that's out there is in operation in other areas, but we have use cases for the chemicals, the seawater, the mechanical gear, the pumps, the turbine. All of it exists in the world in some form. So we're not trying to build a new piece of equipment. We're just integrating something that's been demonstrated before with a data center. And the data centers, all over the world now, there are entities that are deploying demonstration data centers, either submerged, in the Bay of San Francisco, or building data centers on top of a canal so that they've got immediate access to significant amounts of cooling. And so we kind of use the counter. Well, the demonstrations are there. We just want to integrate something a bit more bigger and make it financially feasible, and something that is actually going to be in operation for 30 plus years, bring renewable baseload energy to a grid, and bring sustainable data center service. Some people kind of go, oh no, you need to make a demonstration. But when you look at the cost to build a barge and an ocean thermal plant that is not financially feasible, it doesn't really sit well with Nate and I to do that when, we can build something that is going to return money to investors and is going to provide a service to the local economy.